Hello everyone, welcome to Talk a Good Game. It's match preview of Danish side FF Viborg against West Ham United. Second leg of the playoff tie. Hammers lead 3-1 going into this one. Gonzo, kick it off as always with your thoughts on our opponents, please.
Well, not an awful lot, to be fair. I don't know.
What do you think of them in the first leg? What do you make of the...
They were all right. They were okay. I thought they gave it a go. I like their attitude, actually, Geo. I like the fact that they went for it. They clearly don't have the calibre of players of a Premier League team, but they had a pop. I really liked it. They had a pop. They had a game plan. I like the way they tried to utilise their striker, tried to get the ball wide. They attacked. It's so easy for these lesser teams just to sit back, but they had to go. But more than that, Gio, more than that, I said in one of the videos that it was the right team at the right time. And again, once again, we have it. It's the right team at the right time. And for whatever reason, be it good or bad, it's not good or bad, but be it bad, it's actually acting as another pre-season game. We're very lucky. Actually, I'd never think you were lucky to qualify for Europe and being a pre-qualifier, but as I understand, everyone has to pre-qualify for this particular tournament. Normally, I don't like them; they're a banana skin. But my word, we need them because the pre-season was ineffective, and because of that, this may well be very, very helpful in terms of fitness. I'm talking about both legs in terms of fitness, and then in terms of a squad and a club with depleted morale. But the club itself, Viborg, good luck to them. I was really impressed with their attitude and the way they went for it.
Yeah, I was quite impressed by them last week as well. They were better than I expected. I didn't know what to expect because I've never seen them play before, but they were still somehow exceeded my limited expectation of them. I thought they knocked the ball about really well. I thought until it was 1-0 West Ham, I actually thought they looked like a better team to some part. They were the one knocking the ball about, keeping it well. They had a bit of a game plan. A few of their players stood out and impressed me. And I think the 3-1 scoreline makes it look like it was extremely comfortable, and I think it was fairly comfortable for West Ham. I think we had a couple of gears to go up from what we saw last week, but I think it was 3-1 comfy, if that makes sense, going into this one. And I agree, I think we do need this. If we didn't have this game this week, I know a lot of people say, oh, could have done without it. Well, I don't disagree. We would have had a League Cup fixture instead. We're just not in the League Cup because we have this European football. So we would have had a midweek game regardless this week. So it's just that we're playing in European football rather than in the League Cup. Has your opinion changed on European football? Because obviously when we obviously played 3, lost 3, got a couple of tough games coming up in the Premier League. And then I would argue that the fact that we've had to play this game in last week in particular, we've not had much time on the training ground. You could argue that it's been a contributing factor to our sort of lack of preparation that we've perhaps seen in the Premier League so far. But do you still want to see us go on and take this seriously at this stage?
Yeah, I would listen, Gio. I'd be one of the first to use that excuse if I thought it was true. That was one of my biggest fears. If anything, I've got a confirmation. That would be my confirmation bias. Look, see, told you. I don't believe it. Actually, I think it's good. I think this is good for us. I would rather have this game in here. You can't have it. Oh, there is an argument to be said that actually without the additional games in Europe last season, we would have finished above Man United. Our league form would have been better. We tended to lose after a European game. We might have even finished top 5 last season. I think it's a valid argument, but I wouldn't swap it. Wouldn't swap a Sevilla game and the Liga game, and even the disappointment of Frankfurt. I'm pleased to be in it. And actually, no, rather than seeing this as a problem, this fixture, I actually see this as part of the remedy, actually. I think this is very, very helpful to us. So, no, I don't have a problem with these fixtures at all.
I don't think it's helpful for the fans that aren't keen on the competition, though. I think there's some people, before the ball was kicked this season, didn't really fancy being in this tournament. And now when you add in a league form, I think there are a few people are going to say, right, bin this off. We don't need to be in this competition. But I think if you are going to have that attitude, I think it's better to have it in the group stage rather than the playoff one, because by the time the group stage is match day 3, we could actually be mid-table. And the last thing you want is come Boxing Day, when we come back from after the World Cup, the group stages come to an end then in European football. 16 games in the Premier League. You don't want to be sat 11th in the league. You look like you're too far away from getting European football. You're safe from relegation, but you never took that European campaign seriously. So you're out of European football, and your season's almost a bit like meh already. You would still have the FA Cup coming up, but at least then, you know what I mean? You can deal with it as it goes on. If come that, you know, the fourth group stage game of European and we're down fighting relegation, then I think you can change your principles a little bit and say, right, time to sort of back off this European contest a little bit here. But certainly now, it's far too soon to be doing that. I want to see us go there, win on Thursday. I know we don't need to, because we could lose by a goal and still qualify for the group stage. But I want to see us win. I think it's important. And I still want to see us take this competition seriously. Was there any players in particular that impressed you from themselves on last week?
Oh, I can't remember their names, Geo. Must be honest. I thought the striker was, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that battle with Zuma. I really did. I thought that was really good. They also had I can't remember, their left central defender.
Zuma didn't play. It was Ogbonna.
Sorry, Ogbonna. No, who was the? It wasn't actually. That wasn't the battle at all. It wasn't the battle. It was the big guy. Because he wasn't really going over to Ogbonna's side until sort of later on in the game, and because Ogbonna got taken off after 60 odd minutes. That's not. No, I think it might have been actually the duel with Johnson. Actually, I thought that I really enjoyed that, and I thought actually it was part of Johnson's education. Not that I want to see him stay there for any length of time. I thought their left centre back looked a decent enough player as well. Although I wasn't overly, I thought it was a good opportunity to go further across than that to whoever's playing wide on the left side. I thought that was a contributing factor to us having a little bit of joy down there. But centrally, I didn't think they were too bad at all.
Yeah, I thought Grot was brilliant actually for them. He was causing anyone bother. At one point in the first half, he was up against Ogbonna, he was up against Johnson, he was even up against Konakovic at one point. He was winning every physical battle too. I thought he looked quite handy. Centre midfield, Groningen, can't remember the other person's name, but Groningen in particular I thought looked really neat and tidy in possession, worked hard off the ball as well. And obviously their left back, we were warned about it by a couple of people who sort of knew a bit about their team, said there's the creative guy, the left back. Bang, in comes across, bang, there's the goal. Okay, turns out he is pretty good at crossing then. So that's something we've got to be wary of. Anyway, that'll do from the Danish side. We're now going to discuss West Ham United, but before we do, good news for me at the weekend. I beat Gonzo. I beat him comfortably. I finished 8th in the Hammers Chat League for the weekend over on Spitch, which is collaborating with this video tonight as well. So get your team in for this coming weekend. See if you can beat myself and Gonzo. Spitch is a fantasy football app. It's free to download. It's free to sign up. And there's plenty free to play games as well, including the Hammers Chat Community League. But you can also join the Classic League as well. There's a prize pot at the minute. It's around about £500. It will increase. The more people enter, the higher the prize pot goes, even though it's free to enter. How does that work? I don't know. It just does. But there's a few things about Spitch. Don't worry you haven't participated so far, because the rules are different over there. You don't need transfers. You pick a complete different 11 every single week. So you're not actually behind anyone. Me and Gonzo look at it on a week-by-week basis rather than an overall season one because of the people that join up. Also, budget. Who cares about a budget? You can go over budget. You just start on minus points. Or you can go under budget and then start on plus points as well. Everything's to play for this weekend. It's currently Geo 1, Gonzo 1, and we want you guys to get involved. So get it downloaded using the link in the description below. Get signed up. And then when you go into Community tab, search Hammers Chat, join that league, get your team in, and see if you can beat one of us. I'm Hammers Chat, and he's Chris Gonzo on the table, so you can see how you do.
And try not to pick players that are suspended. That was a sneaky tip. Works on all fantasy football, actually.
Who did you pick?
Nunes. No, I made anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm not making excuses. Geo won. I am making excuses, but Geo won as well. Yeah, 1-1.
Anyway, speaking of suspended players, would you like some West Ham team news?
I would love some West Ham team news, please.
Well, Declan Rice is still suspended for this tie. So
you can pick him for your fantasy football. I'm joking.
Yeah, you can do. He'll be fresh for the Villa game. Adam Cranswell is no longer suspended. However, he missed last week's tie, but he's available for selection on this one. However, one player that shan't be is Vladimir Sufal. He departed the game on Sunday with concussion, and due to the concussion rules, the 6-day rule, that means that Vladimir Coufal will not be eligible to play on Thursday night. Also, West Ham new signing Emerson will not be able to play either. The squad was submitted last week, and you're not allowed to change it in between ties, so he won't be eligible for this game. We're going to have to wait until the Aston Villa one before we see Emerson in the claret and blue. Craig Dawson continues to get closer to first-team football, but is extremely unlikely to be available for this one. So apart from Declan Rice, it's pretty much as you were with the team, or should I say Coufal as well. So Gonzo, obviously Areola in goal.
Obviously Areola in goal. Absolutely, mate.
Now, when we're looking, I think with this one, it's difficult to sort of decide whether you want to do it with one eye on Aston Villa, isn't it? It's sort of like, is this a trial run for Sunday's game? Are you working backwards a little bit, saying this is what I want to do against Villa, so I'm going to play as much players as I can on Thursday night, or if I'm going to try a new formation against Villa, let's put it in place on Thursday night with some of the players that will be playing, or would you just treat it as a one-off and change it up for the Villa game?
That's so unlikely. I do love that. Oh, Moyes coming up with a new formation. There's a new tactical plan. He's going to try it out in a European game. And if it works, he use all the same players. And that's lovely. Sounds lovely. Ain't going to happen. So what I would anticipate him doing is giving some games to some of the players that he as by his own admission, doesn't feel are ready for Premier League games yet. So he's going to need to go and get those guys some games, isn't he? And I think, to be fair, whilst I don't like that policy, whilst I'd like to see these signings in the team, I think he can do that against this team. We got a little lead there as well. So, but I mean, he's not got much choice in defence. I mean, so I was thinking in this game, I was hoping Dawson might be back or something, and we might be able to put Kehrer in there, or move him around and maybe play him at fullback and stuff like that. But we have no choice now. We got, particularly with Coufal being out there, there's no flexibility. Kehrer is going to have to play at centre half. So
Ariel and goal, back for three of them picked themselves, as far as I'm concerned. Just a left back spot that's really up for debate, and there's two players in there. But how would you like to see the back four line up?
Well, I say there's no choice. Okay, so I want Ashby to play. Ashby has to play.
Yeah, I agree.
He absolutely has to. He's a player with promise. I want him to see him keep getting better. I want to see him play a lot. I'm not impressed with our right back situation at the moment, but I understand it's not a priority in terms of transfer. We're probably not going to deal with that. I do think there's a weakness there, and I think the answer long term is possibly already at the club. So I want to see him getting more games there. I mean, for instance, with Ashby, if the nuclear situation happened and we did lose our manager, it would not surprise me if a new manager were to come in later. Particularly like a younger manager who's quite excited. I wouldn't be surprised if he looked at Ashby and said, actually, I'm going to go with him. Do you know what I mean? And you could actually think of a number of managers who possibly would do that. So not that Moyes is going to be looking at that at all, but I would like to see him almost be ready for if Moyes wants to use him more, if Coufal's form really dips, or, if any of the eventualities happen. I'd like to actually see Ogbonna back for this one as well. There's no reason why not. Let's give him another 60 minutes again. Now here's the interesting one. So you've either put Kehrer next to him or Johnson next to him, because again, I think that's fine. If you put Johnson next to him, then I wouldn't be averse to playing Kehrer at left back, just to see if he could. I want to get his games up and to see if he can do it, basically, because I have a feeling Cresswell's going to be playing against Aston Villa. If that's the case, then does Cresswell need to play sort of 3 games consecutively when one of them's in Europe? I'm not so sure. So even
for the Villa game, we will have Emerson available for selection as well.
Well, that'd be not. Yeah, I mean, the trouble is, Joe, and this is what happens, unfortunately, when you have a managerial policy like we have. I have no faith he would play Emerson. I don't mind the signing of Emerson. I don't mind it. But do you think Emerson comes in and Moyes will turn around and say, right, Cresswell, you're out, Emerson's in? Just don't see it. So actually, that's I'd probably do something like that.
Yeah, I'd like to see Ashby, Kehrer, Ogbonna, and then Ben Johnson left back. It's not so much because, well, a little bit because Cresswell might play both games, but also because I think Ben Johnson needs the game time. And also, I think one of them will be starting on Sunday against Villa. I don't think we can play Coufal against Villa, so I think Ashby or Johnson, and one of them is possibly going to have to play right back on Sunday as well. So it's almost like play them both the message is clear. One of you starting on Sunday. Go out there and perform. There's something up for grabs here. Well, the tie might be not done yet, but if West Ham score, you'd imagine it's done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But even though the tie's over, you two have still got something to play for. I think it's essential Bona gets as much minutes under his belt for this one. Again, there's a possibility we're going to have to use him on Sunday against Aston Villa because Kurt Zuma is broken. And then I think it's also important that Kerr gets 90 minutes under his belt at centre-back, get him used to playing with his teammates. He's looked a bit rash in the first couple of games so far, so there's a bedding in period needed for him as well. So I think the back four almost picks itself for me. Now, moving into midfield, I guess this is where there is plenty of options now. Obviously, no Declan Rice, so Flynn Downs feels like a must start.
Absolutely. Unless you want to completely demotivate the kid. I mean, if you don't start him, you could almost write a book. How to demotivate an excited player within a month. That'd be he has to start. I don't know many people would buy that book. You're probably right. Yeah, check out Hammer's Chat store. We might be selling it. Signed copies by David Moyes. No, I think I'm already concerned about the messaging, about the motivation of players, and I think he has a lack of understanding on sometimes what makes not the human mind tick. That sounds too profound, but what makes people feel good and people feel crap, basically. And I think that's really, really important to put him in there. I think we're home and hosed in this game. I really do, as long as we take it seriously. I really do. I think we really are. So actually, I'm going to drop Souček for this one as well, because I don't have an awful lot of faith in Souček at the moment in terms of midfield. I think we're home and hosed if we can control the game. So actually, I might be inclined in this game to actually put Lanzini next to Flynn Downs in central midfield for this one.
How would you like to line up ahead of them?
I'm going Moyes' formation. So as a number 10, I'd actually play in this one. I'd play Benrahma as a number 10. I'd stick Cornet on the other side, on the left-hand side. I'd stick Bowen on the right, and I would put Scamacca up there. But I would, with instruction to Benrahma, your job in this game, get very close to him. Very close to him. I almost want to see a partnership develop here. He must not be isolated, and it'd be the same. It'd be the same thing as well. Particularly if you've got those fullbacks there, particularly with Ashby. I would be almost saying he's going to provide a lot of width here. So actually, Bowen, you tuck in a little bit again. Get close to Scamacca. I want people to get close to Scamacca. I want him to feel motivated. I want him to feel that if he wins, if he gets a flick on, there's going to be someone there. If he holds the ball up, there's someone to lay it onto. I want supply. I want lots and lots of supply to Scamacca, basically.
Yeah, I'd like to see Lanzini and Fornals in beside Downs. That's a possession-based trio right there. I want us to see us. The one thing they did better than us last week, which is mental. I'm talking about Danish mid-table side here. They controlled the game better than we did. They were better knocking the ball about, and I found it a little bit insulting, I guess. So I don't want that happening again, and I think that three would give you that control. And then I've also got Cornet, Bowen, and Scamacca too. I don't necessarily want to see Benrahma because I think at the minute he's our most likely provider on Sunday, so I'd like him not to play if possible. Scamacca has to start. He's got to hopefully get on the score sheet again, get Cornet on the team. And Jared Bowen, we need him vibing. We need him improving and performing better than what we've seen so far in the Premier League. I thought he was decent enough against this lot last Thursday. Not quite man of match, and Jared Bowen should be man of match in these types of games. He should be the one that's head and shoulders above the rest of them. And that's what I want to see from him on Thursday. And for this game being quite a nothing game to some extent, or it feels like it should be a bit of an easy one, Bowen looked annoyed to be taken off last Thursday just after he scored 2-0. When he went off, he stood there sort of scowling across at the touchline before he started walking off. And I thought, well, that's good then, because there's a player that wants to stay on the pitch. It's a playoff. It's a qualifier for the third-tier European competition. And you often worry there's a little bit of snobbery, and some of the players almost look at it like the Carabao Cup, which is, I don't want to be involved in this. This isn't for me. But actually, Bowen's very much said, I want to be playing in this. And I like that. So I want to see that on Thursday. So I think it's important we get some of these in. It's kind of important for some of these players, though, isn't it? To get not just for game time as well, but for, I guess, showing the manager what they can do and try and get into the team for the Villa game.
I think actually in terms of motivation, as much as anything, I mean, you talk about Jared Bowen there and coming off the pitch. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of leaks coming out from the club. There's a lot of stuff, with this, with players. We seem to all know that the players aren't happy a lot more than we usually do, and I get it. That none of us are happy, by the way, none of us. So I think there's a team of people that need motivating. And I say that, a team of people, it's so easy to say, footballers and they earn this much money. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could say that all season and then not motivate them at all. I think they need to be made to feel valued. I think they need to be made to feel that they're good. And I think we have to put a framework in place to allow them to, particularly the expressive ones, to express themselves. I think someone like Lanzini's got to feel that he is able to pass his way through the game. Cornet and Benrahma and people like that have to feel that they are able to create something. It's really important that the new striker doesn't feel isolated. It's incredibly important that he's not throwing his arms around in frustration. I know what the counter argument is. Hold on, he costs 35 million on this much a week. He needs to get down there and graft. It's not. It doesn't lack accuracy. There's a point to that, but you also, it's like look, you have to maintain it. Do you know what I mean? It's like buying a thoroughbred horse and then start complaining, he should be running around. Well, actually, you got to maintain it. Do you know? I'm not going to start talking about feeding and brushing Skamaka and whipping him. But you got to maintain that. You have to give him something to get behind. You got to give these people some encouragement. So this is incredibly important. I don't think they've all turned into crap players overnight. I really don't. There are reasons, and everyone's got their own reasons, but whatever they are, then we've got to find them out, be they tactical, be they fitness, and all the rest of it. But once that's done, we've got to kickstart them all again in terms of lifting it. As preposterous as it's, if this was happening in middle of the season, I'll be saying we need to go to Portugal for a week. The players need to go to warm weather training. This is what I'll be saying. Preposterous that you would be talking about a stale and unmotivated set of players 3 games into a season, but we have to try and find that motivation from somewhere. And that for me is why the irony is the European game is massively important to try and kickstart our Premier League campaign.
Can't believe you just said that about Skamaka. I compared him to the treatment of horse and never used the phrase Italian stallion. I'm disappointed in you. I am disappointed in you. I thought, here he goes. And he didn't say it. I was like, Gonzo, you're slipping.
I am
slipping here. Yeah, I think there's 1 or 2 players I think this game's massive for. I think Lanzini's one of them. I think he's been dreadful. This game last week, he looked poor. He went off. Fernandes came on. And I felt like he changed the game. Lanzini came on at the weekend, and there'll be some people watching this going, did he? Yeah, I don't blame you. He honestly did. But yeah, it's difficult to notice him either. But he's somebody that's drastically slipping down the pecking order and needs a good performance in this game. Are you confident for it?
Yeah, I am. We're the better team. And you can take my team, take your team, pick your own team, juggle it around how you want. We're a better team than Viborg, certainly. Nobody, it's not even worth talking about losing this game and going out. I mean, there's almost, there'll be no coming back from it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we will win. I am confident. And and hopefully it gives us a good spring in our step ahead of the Aston Villa game. And the manager some decisions to make. Not everything set in stone. Some decisions to make. Has to be some credit for playing well against Viborg. There has to be some route into the first team. Because again, I keep saying it, the messaging is poor. Even if you thought it, right? I don't trust these new players. Don't bloody say it.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm relatively confident. The problem is we do have a 2-goal lead. I think you're going to see that displayed on Thursday night. I don't think we're going to come out firing at the start. We're not gonna go gung ho throw the kitchen sink at them, because that arguably it'd be a little bit naive perhaps to leave ourselves so open that we allow them to get an early goal and suddenly it's 3-2 and we're game on all of a sudden and they've got the home fans behind them. So I expect us to see what I would call, again, a professional performance where we try and just bore the game a little bit, just try and keep it simple, nothing too fancy. You're offering Moyes a 0-0 right now. I think he'd be inclined to take it. Say, that'll do me. I'll just get out there with a clean sheet. We're in the group stage. Now I don't have to worry about that for a couple of weeks, and I can focus on the Aston Villa game. But I want to see some big performances from players, some trying to get in the team and some trying to stay in the team as well. You can't, if Souček does start, and I've got a feeling he will, by the way, I think Souček will start on Thursday, he can't jog out of the tunnel thinking, I don't need to put in a performance. He needs to feel that his position is under threat for Thursday, for the Villa game. Whether he does or not is one thing, but he needs to feel like he's under pressure. Hopefully he's playing next to Flint Downs and sees that guy knocking about left, right and centre, thinking, hang on a minute, this guy's performing a bit better for me. We need some big performances. I'm confident, though, that we'll get the job done, essentially. I don't think, last Thursday we did enough to win. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10 performance or anything like that, but it was we did what we had to do, and that was pretty much it. There wasn't much else on top of that, and I think we're going to see similar again on Thursday night. So can I get any final words from yourself, Gonzo, as well as your score prediction, please?
Oh, yeah, I probably should say it's on Premier Sport. So if you don't know what that is, Google it, and it will tell you how you can view that in whatever particular country you're in on the day of the game on Thursday. Just in case, I know a lot of people are scratching around trying to find that. It's an important match, mate. It's an important game. Okay, not just that. Whatever signings David Moyes thinks he might want to get over the line, it's probably quite important that those new signings view the start of our season as a bit of a blip. And one of the ways to really highlight that is to actually qualify for the group stage in Europe. Don't worry about those first three. We'll sort that out, those first three games. You can turn around and go, look, Liverpool have been crap as well. Don't worry about West Ham. We're decent. And you say to those signers, here you go, we're in the group stage in Europe. I think if you don't, and you get kicked out of Europe and you're bottom of the table with no points, then those players that might be looking to sign for West Ham might think, actually, I might wait. I might wait. So get it done, get it wrapped up, score the goals. 3 or 4 of those players, be it Kehrer or Skamaka or whatever, let's get some confidence. Let's get some performances from them and get them really buzzing. So we as fans ahead of the Aston Villa game are saying, I don't know who's going to play. It'd be really interesting. So we've got some decisions to make. Someone be brilliant at left back. So as we don't know whether that player or Cresswell's playing, and let's make it a really, really. At the moment, we're all certain Antonio's starting against Aston Villa. Let's make it so we're not so certain, and particularly, I think more importantly, so Skamaka is not certain that Antonio is starting against Villa. That's very, very important here. But hopefully, more than anything else, I think, just to get through, to get the win, and for us to enjoy a game, because that was, I don't know about anyone else, I had a big hangover after the Brighton result. I was in a bad mood for the rest of the day and the next day as well. It's which bit.
You came on the player ratings proper sulky.
I was because I felt, and I don't normally do that, and I just felt, I feel like it sucked the joy out of it, actually. And I have a lot of joy about West Ham. West Ham brings a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, and a release. It's all right. It's a bit different for us. It's our jobs now in terms of, I was going to say a release from your day job. I guess for us it is our day job. But you know what I mean. You follow West Ham because you love it and all the rest of it, and it is joyful. And I like to look forward to signings, look forward to games, and the moment you start adding dread into that, and you're feeling just quite down about it. I felt all of that Brighton game sucked the bloody joy out of West Ham for me. So I was so I could do with a little injection of some West Ham joy again.
I think we need an injection of confidence, not necessarily the fan base does, but I don't think Thursday's going to. We could win 5-0 and the fans will still say, right, well, fair enough. It's one thing doing it then. Do it on Sunday then. Let's see you do that. And I will be one of them, by the way. We could win 6-0. I will enjoy it and celebrate it. Praise be given where praise is due. But I'm not going to start doing cartwheels. I will be one of the ones that says, well, let's see what you do in Villa Park on Sunday then, because that's where it matters. But the players need a bit of confidence. Jared Bowen needs a bit of confidence. Souček needs probably a new role, but he needs something. Bonani's minutes under his belt. This is an important game in almost preparation for Sunday's game as well. So, yeah, I'm confident for it. So I'm going to say, what did you just give us a score prediction?
Oh, sorry, I didn't, did I? So what are we? We're 3-1 up?
Yes, we are.
I think we might win. I think we might win with 2-1. A healthy aggregate score overall.
Yeah, I'm going for 2-1 as well, actually. No, we don't often match with the score predictions. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham as well on the night, and obviously a 5-2 win on aggregate into the group stage. The group stage draw is on Friday, by the way. So this kickoff on Thursday, 6 o'clock. So we'll be live at 4:55. 5 to 5, we'll be live on this channel with the team, building up to the game as well. Then should we go through, then on Friday at approximately 1:30 will be the group stage draw for the Europa Conference League, and we will be doing a live stream video for that one, reacting to the draw as it happens. So hopefully you can join us on Thursday night and on Friday, because that would mean that we're through. If you've enjoyed this preview, do drop a like on and subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts, what team you want to see, so on and so forth, in the comments of this video. Myself and Gonzo, catch you in a bit.